No, you're. Have you ever watched the notes from this class?
All the time.
Oh, so you can hear our voices in the background?
It's very hard to hear your voices in the background, but if you talk real loud, then you may. This is quiz 11, study guide. And problems 1 through 5 are vocabulary. So we're going to start with problem number 6.
We're going to need answers.
No. Q is equidistant from the sides. So you got this picture right here. Yeah, I meant to not give you the vocab answers, but since I'm going on vacation tomorrow, I thought I'd be nice to you.
Wait, you're not gonna be.
No, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Going fishing.
So we're gonna do the.
Gone fishing.
No, do the.
You're going to have a quiz tomorrow. Okay, it says that Q is equidistant from the sides of angle TSR. Find the value of x. That means that if Q is the same distance from both sides of the angle, then Q is on the angle bisector. So this is 5x plus 3, and this is 28. And if S to Q is the angle bisector, then these two angles are congruent. Thank you. Which means that 5x plus 3 equals 28. And you can subtract 3 from each side. So 5x equals 25. You can divide by 5. And x would be equal to 5. And they asked you to find the value of x, so there it is. I'm not going to draw or do number 7 because it's the same type problem. Well, actually on number 7, you're going to take 3x plus 5 and you're going to make it equal to 23. Subtract 5 from each side. 3x is going to be equal to 18. Divide by 3. X is equal to 6. This is a great opportunity for everybody to get a really good quiz score this week. We didn't cover much material, so there weren't many questions I had to choose from to put on the quiz. So a lot of these questions are just duplicates of each other with different numbers. Now, where you will have to be careful is when you're reading the instructions, though, because if you look at number 8, it says that Q is equidistant from TSR, from the sides. Now, in that problem, it asks to find the measure of RST. So, those two expressions are equal to each other. The 5x plus 3 is equal to the 9x minus 13. And they're asking for the measure of angle RST. The measure of angle RST. Now, the measure of angle RST, Leo, that's the whole angle. Okay? RST is that whole angle there. RST. So you have to solve for x. You've got to substitute it and find one of the angles. And then you got to multiply it by 2 because they want this entire angle measure. All right? It's got the bisector in there, but you're going to subtract 5x from each side. So 3 will equal 4x minus 13. You can add 13 to each side. 16 is going to equal 4x. You're going to divide both sides by 4. And 4 is going to be equal to x. Alright, so if 4 is equal to x, you can go up here and take 5 times 4 plus 3. And 5 times 4 is 20 plus 3 is 23. So this one little angle is 23. So how much will the whole angle be? 46. Very good. So 46 degrees. Any questions on that problem? Remember, if this is an angle bisector, these two angles are equal to each other. If the one on the top is 23, the bottom is 23. If you multiply 23 by 2, it gives you the whole angle, which was the question that was asked. That was number 8. That was number 8. Number 9. DF bisects EDG. Find the value of x. If DF is an angle bisector, if this is an angle bisector, if that middle ray is an angle bisector, then the theorem said that these two pieces are congruent. So 4x plus 121 is going to be equal to 15x. It says to find the value of x, so you're subtracting 4x from each side. 121 equals 11x. Divide by 11. That's 11. 11 equals x. Alright. Do you see this 23 that they put down there? Alright, that's just a decoy. Just a decoy. These two pieces are congruent when this is an angle bisector. You don't need the 23, it's a decoy. Number 10. Does number 10 look familiar? No? It says that Q is equidistant from the sides. If Q is equal distance from both sides, Q is right here. And if it is equal distance from both sides, then the line through the middle is an angle bisector. And this 5x plus 6 is equal to the 7x minus 14. They ask for the measure of RST again, and this is R, S, and T. You have to solve for x, so 5x plus 6 is equal to 7x minus 14. Subtract 5x from each side. And 6 will equal 2x minus 14. Add 14. And 20 will equal 2x. One second. And 10 is going to equal x. If 10 is equal to x, they're asking for the measure of this angle, R to S to T, the entire angle. So you take the 10 and you substitute it into either of these expressions. So what's 5 times 10? Plus 6. So this angle is 56. These angles are congruent. So the bottom is 56. So the entire angle is 112 degrees. What was your question about the adding the what? Well, if you would have added 6 to both sides right here, if 6 equals 2x minus 14, and you add 6, you got a mess. You didn't get anything accomplished. You would get 12 equals 2x
No.
minus 8.
I thought that 6 over there like cancels out and then plus.
You would have to subtract 6 from both sides. But look, if you did this step and you've got the x on one side of the equal sign, right? Just leave it there and move this number, okay? Because as soon as I've seen it happen so many times, people subtract 6 from each side and then they move the equal sign and they get the correct value, but they get the wrong sign on the number. Number 11 is just like number 9. Okay? So it's going to be 4x plus 60 is equal to 14x. So I would subtract 4x from each side. And 60 is going to equal 10x. Divide each side by 10, and 6 will equal x. They ask for all they're asking for is the value of x right there. Okay, so 6 is equal to x. Either way is fine. And on a multiple choice quiz, they're probably not even going to put the x there. It's going to be like, A would be 10, B would be 6. So, all right, 12 and 13, same setup. They're telling you that DF bisects EDG. All right, on number 12, they're asking you to find FG. All right, F2G, that's the 2n minus 4. So you're going to take n plus 3, make it equal to 2n minus 4. This one right here is the FG. So if you subtract n from each side, then 3 is going to equal 2n minus 1n, that's just an n. Minus 4. If you add 4 to each side, then 7 is equal to n. Now, make sure you read the questions carefully. This is going to be the hardest part of the quiz, is to understand when you're just solving for the variable and when you have to find a segment length or an angle measure. Because this question is to find FG. So you got to take this 7 and substitute it for this n right here. So it's going to be 2 times 7 minus 4, which is 14 minus 4, which is 10. So look, F to G is going to be equal to 10. You can, if you want. So look, when you're taking these multiple choice quizzes, I bet you answer A would possibly be a 7. Okay, so when you do the first part of the question and you see a 7, oh, I'm good, I'm done. No, read the question. They're asking you to find F to G. Okay? So then answer B might be 10. All right, so read the question carefully.
Shouldn't the answer be 20 then? It's like, it says F to G.
F to G is 2n minus 4. You looking at the picture?
Yeah, it says F to G, but like both spaces equal 10, so it would be 10
No.
instead.
Here's the picture. Here is F, and here is G, and this is 2n minus 4. Yeah, F to G. Okay. And number 13, same setup. n plus 5 equals 2n minus 3. Equals 2n minus 3. So you can subtract n from each side. 5 equals n minus 3. Add 3 to each side. 8 equals n. And this, let's see, they're asking for f to g again, and this was f to g. So substitute it into that expression, so 2 times 8 minus 3 is 16 minus 3, which is 13. Questions? Pretty good opportunity to get a real good quiz score.